Live. Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I am your host, Andy Lang. It is Friday. We're looking for a big weekend. We got MLB, we got WNBA, and we got a stacked UFC card breakdown. We got sharp plays, betting angles, everything you need to finish the week strong. Gianni is going to join us for the Steam Report. Tokyo Brandon's going to join us. We're going to talk Phillies and Yankees, maybe a couple other games. Ronald Cabang is going to join us, and we're going to talk the Aces and the Lynx. So no time to waste. You guys know what to do. Hit that like button. Let's bring in Gianni and get this party started. Gianni, good morning. Happy Friday. Are we looking at a busy morning or so not so busy morning?
No, busy. Just all over the board. Different things coming in. Got a couple CFL, but not able to confirm, like, legit. Like, I'm moving some CFL stuff, but I've been doing it long enough to see the, like, true positions and not just some number plays. Also some WNBA, but nothing really like multiple groups betting the same stuff. It's just all over the board kind of, but did confirm second college football week 1 bet. That went out to subscribers already. That went out this morning. So you should have your second week 1 college football bet. But here's what I'm seeing in CFL in the accounts, the sharp stuff. A lot of the numbers are gone, but they got down on Saskatchewan at the opener. That moved up, then it moved against them. Now it's moving back that way. The Saskatchewan side, they also bet Winnipeg at the opener, and they went under in Hamilton and British Columbia. So Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, under Hamilton and British Columbia. WNBA action. Nothing really sticking out except the over in New York and Phoenix. That's the only WNBA bet that I'm seeing from sharps that doesn't have any kind of resistance or doesn't look like it's a middle opportunity or anything like that, any type of manipulation. Otherwise, it's strictly Major League Baseball and then UFC early tomorrow morning. Don't forget, that's a 9 a.m. Pacific time start. So an early card in UFC for tomorrow.
Yeah, I see a big line movement on one of the games, and Ronald's going to be in here to break it down for us. Las Vegas, Minnesota. I see that opened at 157.5. That thing's all the way up to 161.5. So interested to see about that. What's kind of jumping off the page as far as line moves in Major League Baseball?
All right, here's what we're looking at so far, some of the sharper action. There's a lot of it, so I'll just pick off some of the, share some of them and see whether you guys confirm. 904 Pittsburgh at plus money, plus 110 all the way down to even money. 906 St. Louis at plus 120. 930 Minnesota, multiple groups, multiple times from 140, 145, 150, 155. So they're blasting Minnesota for sure. 910 Detroit, good to about minus 110 there. Yankees, Philadelphia, they steamed that one over 9.5. Laid 130, not to get the 10, but that's why you're seeing 10 across the board. Boston at plus 110, but seeing a lot of public on Boston as well. So that's one of those public and sharps all on the same dog. That usually worries me a little bit. And Atlanta at the dog price of plus 140. So yeah, a lot of baseball action, mostly sides, except for that over in Philly and Yankees. And another total that stuck out, Washington, Minnesota. Again, not a sexy game, but for some reason that total's being bet over, like they already saw the outcome. Like, I mean, like it's in accounts that you wouldn't see it. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't normally be like guys that aren't betting baseball every day. For some reason that jumped out like it's some kind of lock. Because it's like I'm seeing it parlayed into stuff for tomorrow. I'm seeing it.
Really?
I don't know why. I don't know whether it's recency bias. I don't know whether they each scored 15 runs last night. I don't know. I didn't look.
All right, so Tokyo Brandon, if you're listening, look up this game because I have
Washington, Minnesota, bro. Washington, Minnesota.
Okay.
Because that side got steamed, like I told you, ridiculously. And for some reason, that over's being bet, like, again, like they already know the outcome for some reason.
Yeah, the Minnesota pitcher's got a 6.26 ERA. I think they've only won a couple games since All-Star break. All right, we need to dig deep because
Under's got to be a lock, right? Under's got to be a lock.
See, I may parlay that with some things for tomorrow with that much size.
Because
so
why 8.5, bro? Why not 9? Why not 9? 9's such a key number. What are you giving me the half a run for? What are you giving me the 8.5 for? I'm willing to go over 9. Why would you let me go over 8.5? That's the stuff that sticks out from a market perspective without the handicap. Like I'm seeing these bettors going over. Like I said, they went over. It was at 8. It was at 8. They went over 8. They're going over 8.5. They'll comfortably go over 9 as well, but they're not going to 9. To me, that's a telling sign because I think at 9 you would see some steam come under, and that puts them in a bad spot where they got over 8, under 9. Again, you ain't going to get middle. They can't land on 8.5. But the worst position is pushing one side and having to pay out the other. That's the next worst thing after getting middle.
Yeah. Boy, if it does land on 8.5, that's the worst beat ever. We were going to have Andrew Babakitis on to talk UFC, but he is out of town this week. I question his passion for not showing up when he's on vacation. No, I'm kidding. So let's break down UFC here, Gianni, since we don't have Andrew in there. I see my boy Stephen Nguyen has took some money. And again, it seems to be mostly Whitaker. What are you seeing with line moves? Then maybe we can break down a fight or two here.
What Whitaker sticks out to me, it really does, because you have like the perfect storm for recency bias with both fighters coming off like the opposite end of the spectrum. Meaning you have De Ridder, who just beat Bo Nickel, who was like a minus 1,100 favorite against everyone until that fight. Like, you know what I mean? He's more or less been crowned the next upcoming star, and De Ridder beats him. And then on the other side of the ledger, you have Khamzat Chimaev went right through Whitaker, finished him in the very first round. And Whitaker's the favorite of about minus 150. And I'm seeing nothing but love for De Ridder. That sticks out. Again, just looking at it from a market perspective, I think Whitaker's a little bit undervalued here. I think had he not fought Chimaev and this was his next fight, I think Whitaker would be about a minus 200 favorite, even with De Ridder having beaten Nickel.
I'll jump in here. Bo Nickel, I mean, from a stylistic matchup, Bo Nickel's this elite college wrestler. And Gianni, he's decided he's not wrestling anymore. His last 2 fights, he's like, I'm going to strike. It's gone horrible. This never works when a wrestler's like, I'm going to become a striker. He got tired. He got beat up. I mean, so it's like, I got why he was a favorite. But if the books had known that Bo Nickel was going to come out and strike instead of, the lines would have been completely flipped. So
I just think Whitaker's takedown defense and his experience and coming in off that loss, I just think it's a decent spot for him. I think it's a good spot for him in that fight. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you about the Yan and McGee. I had a guy, I respect his opinion a lot on X's and O's on my podcast yesterday. And he was saying it's Yan's fight. Like just the way they match up, it's Yan's fight. And this line really is warranted. To me, I didn't think so. Like I thought Yan looks a little bit too high against a red hot McGee. Like McGee's done absolutely nothing wrong. 3 straight performance bonuses. Then he steps up in class against Jonathan Martinez and pitches more or less a shutout. If you look at the box score, again, it's another step up in competition, and you're going way out on that risk curve, but you're getting almost 3-1 to take that chance. I don't know. Jan's he's now seems like he's back off back-to-back wins, but he's proven to be beatable, and I just think that line's a little bit too high for my liking.
So X's and O's on this one. Peter Yan is one of the ultimate, like, what-if guys in his career. I mean, literally, he was winning a championship fight and got disqualified for an illegal knee. Like, and then he loses 2 fights by split decision to, championship caliber fighters. Like, this guy's career could look unbelievably different. And so, it kind of got derailed. But he just beat Yadong Song, like ran through him, and he beat
Yep.
Figueiredo, ran through him. His takedowns are so lightning fast. He times them perfectly, and this is just such a big step up in competition for Marcus McGee. I know he beat Jonathan Martinez. Martinez mailed in that fight. He was a non-factor. It was very unlike Martinez. So I agree that Jan is the play, even at this minus 275. So yeah. Any other fights that are interesting?
Oh, yeah, Bryce Mitchell and Nurmagomedov. Bryce Mitchell and Nurmagomedov. Dude, Bryce is now up to about a minus 150 favorite.
I can't believe it. I
Right?
truly can't believe it. I don't get it. Bryce Mitchell, I don't think has been the same since the Josh Emmett fight. I really think he's not right up there. Did you see his quote earlier this week?
Yes.
Talking about going over there and taking out the Nurmagomedov clan because they're sinners. And you go to his Instagram, he's advertising products. He doesn't even have a gym. His gym is his garage. I know he went to Abu Dhabi to trade. I will not be betting on Bryce Mitchell anytime soon. I do not think he's all there after that Josh Emmett. For me, it's Saeed or nothing.
Yeah, how can you have that confidence in again, those are all like things that are difficult to quantify. And I get it. If you're on the Bryce Mitchell side, you could just discard it as noise. But bro, like it has to matter. Like you said, at that level, at the UFC level, and when you're ranked like he's ranked, like you got to step it up. You know what I mean? Like you say, you got to surround yourself with a high caliber team, coaching, all that stuff. The training, it all matters. The diet, like all that stuff matters once you get to that level because they're all as good as you. They all have the tool belt. They're all BJJ black belts. They all have been, like it's a different sport. They're not just specialists anymore. They're all so well-rounded. It's very different than it was 10, 15 years ago. And I just think guys like that, once they get figured out, they get figured out. And I think with Bryce Mitchell, that's what you're seeing. Like who
do you think is going to have the better camp, Bryce Mitchell or a Nurmagomedov fighting in Abu Dhabi? Who do you think to be more prepared? And then the other thing is, Gianni, if there's a close round, who do you think they're going to give the round to?
I agree.
The Nurmagomedov or Bryce Mitchell is like, I'm coming over there to destroy the sinners. So it's a wild card. It's a wild card. But yes, also everyone remember this starts at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. If you wait till 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon to put your bets in, the fights are probably over. So,
probably done.
Yeah, make sure you get that. So great stuff, Gianni. Yeah, interesting line moves. Weigh-ins were done this morning. I think everyone made it. So tell everyone what you have up for clients.
All right. Steam Room is in the next 45 minutes. We'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern. Going to be a fast one today. Just cover a couple things, answer any questions that you have. Go over our NFL college football futures. Since I added, go over those week 1 games real quickly because some of the lines are moving. And, of course, we'll cover the UFC card. And you'll be receiving a lot of premiums tonight. I already have the baseball package up because, like I said, we've been firing early. I did get multiple groups on some of the same plays. So I have a nice card up already, 2-4% in there. The UFC package is up with a 5% play. So, yeah, a lot of action, man, a lot of action. Hope you guys do some damage this weekend. I'm ready to go.
All right, Gianni, that's a great week of segments. Thank you so much. Good luck this weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday. All right, let's bring in Tokyo Brandon here, and then we'll do all around the world with some free plays. So Tokyo looking sharp as always. Love the hat, love the license plate, love the fur. Everything's popping today. I know we want to talk about the Phillies game, but I got to ask your breakdown on this Twins and Nationals because you just heard Gianni saying like all the money is coming in on the over, like they already know the outcome. All the money is coming in on the Twins, and I know Gore hasn't been great for Washington, but I just see a Minnesota pitcher that's got a 6.26 ERA. What's your breakdown on this game? Do you know why there's so much money coming in on Minnesota?
Yeah, what's up, guys? He does have a 6.2 ERA, but Washington's not really hitting right now. Kind of a problem. The Twins are hitting, but they're going against the better pitchers. So I think the books are probably seeing this as a little bit of a stalemate, which is why they're probably thinking it might go under here. I don't know if it'll go under or not, but I'm not going to play the game. But yeah, if you're asking me why it's that low, that's probably the reason why.
Okay. All right. All right. Very interesting. Well, we want to talk Phillies and Yankees here. First off, how's everything been going this week? And then let's break down Phillies and Yankees.
Yeah, number one at WagerTalk in profit in 2025. Number one for the last 5 years. So things are going well as usual. Yeah, I had a couple days where it was a little rough, but recovered okay, and I'm still number one in 2025. So I feel good about that. Tomorrow, at this time, I will be doing a solo show, opening up my spreadsheets, showing everyone how I do my capping. Usually I go about 2 hours, hour and a half or so. So join me. I'll be like a little DJ out there talking about sports betting. So join me and we'll do that. Let's talk about the Yankees and Phillies here, though, because we've got Will Warren going against Taijuan Walker. And at first glance, you would think, take the Phillies. They're the better team. They're going to crush. And Will Warren sucks. That's what most people would think at first glance here. But not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso would say. Will Warren is not a very good pitcher, as his numbers show. He's got a high whip. He has a really high walk rate. But one interesting fact is he always plays these guys really well. Against the Phillies, he's always been tough. I've never been a Taijuan Walker fan. He's having a decent season, but still, according to my rankings, he's a below average pitcher. And really, the Yankees are only 2 wins less than the Phillies, although everyone thinks of the Phillies as this dynamic lineup, that this juggernaut kind of team. The Yankees are just 2 wins behind them. Everyone's talking about the Blue Jays right now because they're so hot, but I think the Yankees have a chance here. I like how their bullpen is starting to come back. Well, Philadelphia's bullpen is playing really well too, but I think given the fact that Will Warren has great stats against this team, I think the Yankees have a shot here. So I'll take the Yankees here in this one. It's not an official play, but I might put it out as a free play.
Nice. Any teams that you've been focusing on coming out of the All-Star break? Any teams that have stumbled, do you think are going to regress, or teams that come out real hot? I noticed the Rockies won their first 2 series coming out of the All-Star break, which is hilarious because, of course, they did. And the reason they did is before the All-Star break, I said, they're 2-31 in winning series. And then, of course, they win their first 2. Don't expect that to continue. But what are some teams you got your eye on?
Obviously the Blue Jays, they're hot. They're the hottest team out there. They're 4 games ahead in the AL East. The Brewers playing better than anyone, hot as heck. And they rank in top 10 in almost every category in MLB. Cold teams. Wow. The Tigers have dropped off a cliff, haven't they? Since the All-Star break, really, really regressing. I kind of expected that, though, because frankly, they're not as talented as they were performing. But, we see this in Major League Baseball. The season is so long. We're going to see teams get really hot. I mean, at the beginning of the season, everyone's talking about how the Padres are going to be a World Series team. They got the greatest bullpen. They're smashing it. And then they kind of fell off a cliff. And now they're starting to come back. So teams go up and down. It's a long season. Guys get injured. The Dodgers lost 10 out of 12, and now they finally starting to put it together again. So people go up, people go down. It's going to happen. But the Brewers and the Blue Jays have been underdogs in almost every game since the All-Star break, and I have no idea why. A team that hot, their bullpen is just on fire, and their lineup is on fire. They do have kind of weak starting pitching, but it should be good enough with that lineup and that bullpen. I expect them to win the AL East.
Yeah, the team totals have been dynamite on the Brewers and the Blue Jays. I mean,
yes,
it's tough. It's tough because it's like by the time you notice those streaks, it's like almost too late. It's like, now that we're going to grass back a little bit. But man, if you can catch some of these teams, they've just. I wanted to play the Blue Jays over yesterday, and then they bumped it up to 4.5, and I was like, nah, I can't take that, and then he just flew over. So
4.5 is tough because you got to score 5 runs and you only have 9 innings. So, you have to score a run every 2 innings. So that's pretty tough pace in Major League Baseball. But, teams like the Blue Jays are hitting that almost every day.
Yeah. Both of them are 4.5 again today. And I just find it too hard to pull the trigger on a 5.
Agree.
So, Great stuff, Tokyo. Brandon, you got your show tomorrow. What else do you have up for clients over at WagerTalk?
I did this starting this week. I have bullpen rankings. I have lineup rankings that I've used since I was a Major League Baseball scout. And I also take every single starting pitcher and project their hits, outs, strikeouts, walks. And all of that is downloadable for free on my page at wagertalk.com. I also have a 4% play out today in Major League Baseball. So lots to grab and lots to enjoy. I'm still the number one capper in 2025, despite a couple days of losing. About to turn that around very quickly, as I usually do.
Love it. Tokyo Brandon, definitely one of the best in the business as far as fashion. Love that, man. So thank you so much for joining us, Tokyo. Guys, we're like 40 people away from 210,000 subscribers, literally like 40 people. So if you have not subscribed to the Wager Talk channel, please do that right now. And while you're doing it, take a second, bink, hit that like button. Really helps us out. Cam, I didn't see any fireball today from Tokyo Brandon. I didn't see it on total bases. Maybe he's just taking it easy today. So we also have our NFL betting special that is up for a limited time. You can get NFL preseason from your favorite NFL handicapper for just $69. There are some guys on this website that specialize in preseason. So this is regularly priced at $99. You can get it for $69. Every NFL play in the preseason that a handicapper releases, from kickoff at the Hall of Fame game on Thursday, July 31st. I cannot believe that's next week. I can't believe football is next week, to the preseason finale between Vegas and Arizona on Saturday, August 23rd. So you're getting almost a month. It's about 3 weeks worth of preseason games. Even 5% best bets. The best bets are at 5%. They're normally $35. So we got a smoking deal here if you love betting NFL preseason. I have my UFC pack that is up. We've only had 3 official plays this week in all sports. We're 1 and 2, so very, very low volume. Got to get out ahead of some of these plays for the weekend. And I believe we have 2 plays that are already posted for UFC. Got couple 3% plays. I think there might be a 4% play in there, but really loving the card. Kind of low volume for us this weekend. We have a lacrosse best bet that is up. We have those 2 UFC plays, so that's kind of where we're looking. It's not been a great week for us, but 1 and 2. Just need a couple more wins, and we'll be back on the show. Thank you, Tokyo. I appreciate it. Oh, Andy, you are awesome at hosting. Flattery will get you everywhere. On this show, I promise you that. So, you know what, Ronald is waiting. So let's bring Ronald in and do WNBA. I see we got the graphic ready. Then we'll do all around the world. We got a busy all around the world. We got 4 free plays coming up. But Ronald, let's talk a little WNBA. How are you? Hope you got a big weekend planned. How have you been this week? Muted. Everyone take a drink. If someone starts talking and they're muted. Oh, Ronald. All right, let's do.
Should have done on the world, Andy.
All right, well, let's do all around the world while Ronald gets his microphone fixed. All right, hang tight, Ronald. We're going to give the people some free plays here. Let's go for it here. We're going to go to the Rockies at the Orioles. We're going to take the Rockies over 3.5 on their team total. Kramer for Baltimore over 4 ERA this season. The Rockies are rested. The Orioles played yesterday. The bullpen is tired. That is available on the free picks page at Wager Talk. Athletics at Astros. This is Ralph Michaels special. Nerfy, no run first inning. Astros are on a 6-2 Nerfy run, and they have not scored a first inning run in those 8 games. And the Athletics are on a 7-2 Nerfy run. So we got 2 teams not scoring runs early in there. Marlins at the Brewers. Drew Martin likes the Brewers to drop the hammer today. Brewers minus 1.5 on the run line. Brewers are 12 on a 12-1 run. They've won the last 7 games that Peralta has started. Quantrill for Marlins, 5.24 ERA. We just talked about how hot the Brewers are, so Drew Martin is riding with those. And then this one's special. This track is 20 minutes away from where I live. The Brickyard 400 is this weekend. Take a look at Alex Bowman, top 10, plus 135. I have no idea why it's plus 135. On ovals, if this guy doesn't get in a wreck, he's always running in the top 10. I think the reason that it's this much is because his last 2 finishes at the Brickyard have been terrible, but he's been in accidents. in both of them, and they raced here last year, but before that, they didn't race since 2020. So a curious line. He's in the Hendrick cars. They're very, very fast. They're great on these ovals, and this is just a wide open pedal to the metal and go around in a circle. It's kind of a boring race to watch, but Alex Bowman, the top 10 at plus 135 is smoking deal. Hopefully we get a good qualification out of him. So those are your free plays going into the weekend. Now let's bring in Ronald here. All right, Ronald. Now we can hear you.
Okay,
yep.
Awesome. Sorry about that, guys.
You never sounded better earlier, Ronald. No, I'm just kidding. How's your week been?
The week has been great. Really focusing on the W. We just had the All-Star break, and right out the gate, we stayed hot, 7-1. Right after All-Star break. So we just keep going, cashing in the WNBA, just taking care of the small market there.
Love it. Well, let's talk Aces and Lynx. Aces on the back-to-back. Lynx 21-4. That's an insane record, man. I mean, like one itty-bitty losing streak, but to be this consistent is pretty just kind of 21-4 is amazing. So how do we break down Aces and the Lynx here?
I mean, that's kind of the key word with the Lynx is consistency, right? And that's the opposite of the Aces. Obviously, they're on the second leg of back-to-back games. They did lose yesterday. You talk about inconsistencies. They're on a pretty decent run right before the All-Star break. They had 3 straight wins. They beat Atlanta by 15. Like I said, they ended up losing yesterday without Caitlin Clark for the Fever. I mean, I didn't think they were going to look ahead to this game here today, but the way that they looked yesterday, that's kind of like what it seems. And you talked about the consistency on the Lynx side. Only 4 losses on the season. They're really the best team in the league right now. The Liberty did pick up some players to boost their depth. So, I mean, I think they're like 1A, 1B right now. But in this is going to be their second matchup between these two teams here. Last month, the Lynx beat the Aces 76-62, but Asia wasn't in the lineup. So having her back this time around is going to be a big boost. From an offensive rating standpoint, there's a 16-point gap when she's on the court versus when she's off the court. With that being said, I think this is, especially the line here, the double-digit line that I think it opened at 11. Obviously, it's moving down to 9.5. I think if you look at odds logic right now, but I think the Aces, I think they're too talented, too well coached to be double-digit underdogs, especially after a loss and with Asia available. I think the line is a bit inflated just for multiple reasons. The off a loss, second back-to-back with travel, Lynx having the best record. They look dominant off the All-Star break with a 23-point win. But yeah, I think that line is a little bit inflated. Both, teams actually, if you look at the books, teams on the second leg of back-to-back games this season, they've been undervalued all season long. Teams in this spot, 10-3 ATS so far this season, including 7-0 ATS if they're off a loss like the Aces are. So from a matchup standpoint, the Lynx, they really rely heavily on the above the break threes. But over the last 5 games, the Aces have been top 3 defending that area. So matchup wise, situational, it kind of looks towards the Aces here to cover the number.
I like it. I don't know if you saw a huge line movement on the over. Thing opened at like 157. That's all the way up to almost 162. It's at 161.5. Any value in playing the over at this point, or has all the value been taken out?
Yeah, I mean, I think the value is taken out. I honestly think it's going in the wrong direction, and we see this a lot, especially in the small markets. People betting a specific way. I think there's a lot of things kind of to me pointing towards the under. Trend wise, matchup wise, situational. Or if you look at the Lynx, they're 8-4-1 to the under when playing at home. If you look at the Aces, they're 6-0 to the under as underdogs. So they show up defensively in this situation. And off of these losses too, Becky Hammond really gets their team going. Aces on the road after a loss, 6-0 to the under. As underdogs after a loss, 3-0 to the under. And I mentioned defensively because in all those games, their opponents stayed under their team total. They just show up in this situation. So I actually think it's going in the wrong direction. Coach Hammond gets them back on track defensively here.
Love it. I have a new retirement plan. It's to bet on the Chicago Sky team total under when Angel Reese is not in the lineup.
Yep.
26 points at halftime last night, Ronald.
Yeah.
It's crazy to say, but when Angel Reese isn't playing, the Chicago Sky are terrible on offense. That's not really the narrative, but I mean, numbers don't lie. When she's not in there, they are terrible on offense.
Yeah, I mean that those second chance opportunities are huge for them. Whether she's making the layups or not, she gives them more opportunities to score. So yeah, that's a big loss for them. I know obviously Cardoso does her thing. She's a big that is able to get those second chance opportunities too. But them combined, I think is just a big factor. So taking one out and the other one in, it doesn't help as much.
No, absolutely. So, all right, Ronald, what do you have up for everyone this weekend?
Yeah, we have some promos. I think someone mentioned it in the chat, but there's a combo with myself and Ross Benjamin for a 1 year deal. I have my own 1 year all access deal that's like $99 a month. A lot of things going really well right now. Number one all time in the WNBA, going for a third straight number one finish. I actually already passed last season's total profits. This season I have over 86 units of profit in the WNBA. So I mean, if you're looking for whether it's WNBA or all access, I think either way you can't go wrong. I'm also number one all time in 5% plays. I think a lot of people have been hitting me up with those. We're 42-11 over the last 3 years in 5% plays, so that's 80%. So a lot of things going really well today. 2 4% plays in the WNBA, and those have been really hot. 29-4 on WNBA plays rated 4% or greater. So today, couple plays checked all the boxes.
Love it. Ronald Cabang, best in the business at WNBA. And these are the sports where you build your bankroll, guys. Those are the ones. We were just talking in the chat about NASCAR and that Alex Bowman play. Yeah, this race is pretty boring. Those are sometimes the most profitable sports. So, yep, we gotta cash in when we can, when the books are falling asleep on some of these fringe sports that we call. It's the best way to build your bankroll. So, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for a great week of shows. All kinds of content at the WagerTalk YouTube channel. That's why you should subscribe. We're only 40 or 50 people away, so if you can do your part and join the WagerTalk family on the YouTube channel, and please hit the like button today. Been a great week of shows. No NFL season win totals being broken down today because Dan is out of town, and he's sharing Wi-Fi with like 4 other people working from home. But next week, we'll get after it. Monday, I believe we're going to do the Chargers at 9.5. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Don't forget to pick up that UFC pack that I have up at WagerTalk. 2 strong plays, having a pretty good year in UFC. So let's cash in UFC Abu Dhabi. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like button on your way out. Good luck on your bets this weekend, and take care.